go on communitycpa.com, appreciate our work, right? Every time there is a change on the website, it's not like it just happened by itself, or it doesn't pull out of my dream and just magically happen. There's a lot of hard work behind it. A lot of work from Grace, Catherine, from our third-party service provider, my goodness. So I want you to appreciate, we try to refresh our face from time to time. So you see us not only refreshing all the time, but also good looking. Yes, we are good looking. With this, I want to lead you to our YouTube channel. You know how to get to our YouTube channel, right? Do you know how to type youtube.com? And I'm not kidding, because if English is your second language, a lot of times you can type things wrong, forgot about E or, things like that. So youtube.com, you go in, you can type Community CPA channel. You will find this channel. It's like the round logo, right? And if you look closer to that round logo, you'll see my cartoon inside of that logo. So you subscribe to our channel, then allow you to hear us from time to time. And especially if the topic kind of dinged into your heart, you're like, oh yeah, I'm interested. Then come on, let's just talk together. I know I cannot hear you, but I literally can hear you because I just been on webinar so long, and I kind of know what kind of reaction you might possibly have for me. And I had a client. She no longer worked with us, retired, but she at one time told me that when she listened to my webinar, she would talk to me and forgot I was actually on the screen. So that's quite interesting, right? That tells you that the type of connections we have, and we have definitely the real person-to-person connection. Even though I am here on the screen, but you know that, you know me, just as how you know me in person. And you know our firm, just as how you know the business in your neighborhood. So that connection is founding. That connection is trust. So with that, and you can allow yourself to take advice from the trusted source and move your business to next stage effectively. These are the 2 books I wrote, and it's on internet, and you can get it. If you'd like me to autograph it for you, I will. I autographed quite a bit of books. I don't think I have ever done a autograph that is the same like the other person's. I do not do that. I literally write your name, and I will write what I think at that moment. So my autograph on my book is very unique. So it's tailored to the environment, to the moment, and to you. So you let me know if you want me to do that. You can purchase that online. No responsibility disclaimer. This is not to take me away from responsibility. I have my, professional conduct to follow. It is to take you into a responsibility. So you learn it, take responsibility, then use it. Do not just kind of hear something, then paraphrase that out there and without taking responsibility or thinking. And you want to be the one that actually digest every idea you heard that intrigued you and making you light bulb go off, right? So that's what you want to take responsibility. Then I take my responsibility, work together, and we will be a good team. Our small business in August 2025. I put in here as cautious optimism and resilience. Cautious. Cautious just means that it's not solid, sort of wishy-washy, right? And most of our small business owners remain optimistic about their business so far in 2025. With more than 50% of our clients expressing confidence in the balance of the year. More than 50%, okay? Aiming for some growth throughout the year. So right at this moment, in the month of August, and 50% of our clients, we have more than 12,000 clients, are saying that I think I'm okay. I probably still can grow a little bit when the year end is here. So that's kind of the feedback. Of course, our 12,000 doesn't include Elon Musk, doesn't include Amazon, doesn't include Google.com. So it is a small, medium-sized business. So if you are a small business yourself, my feedback is probably most accurate, better feedback than what you checked on internet. Because they are not talking to you. They're talking to some phantom large companies and or propaganda tools for the White House. So confidence is fueled by the passage of the new law, new tax law. So a lot of it, July 4th, the new OBBBA signed into law. That did give companies some renewed energy, renewed optimism. And we can see that, and even as a tax professionals, we also felt that way. I have a lot of disagreement in terms of this OBBA Act, but I do appreciate the portion of taxes that come through, which give a new life to the businesses that we are in. So we look at all these acts and the regulations, interpretations, possibilities that behind these acts, and we can call up a client and goes, you know what? That 150,000 tax credit we thought you should have now is reality. That is what we are talking to a client about. The most of our clients is unoptimistic about the broader economy. And maybe they have relatives in other industry, or maybe they felt, yeah, even though I grew, but it's not like the growth I had last year. So they are worried about what's going on. With our tariff taxes being on and off, yes and no, left and right, it just any possibility of craziness can be instilled in that White House policy. So with that kind of uncertainty, the country is saturated with unpredictable. But maybe that is a super strategy of some leadership trying to implement into the country, which I have a very short vision, and I certainly don't work or know anything about the White House. So my view is really very localized. It's very localized into small, medium-sized business owners and into what you do on the everyday basis. The broader economy, of course, affects you in some way. But what I want to say to folks is that if you want to maintain focused with your business, maybe checking on news and watching TV or every day going about searching on internet, that may not be a very encouraging or fruitful actions for your business. So you want to leave the broader economy the way it is because you really don't have a say on that. I don't have a say, you don't. So with that said, let's just say, yes, it is not optimistic, but it is what it is, right? So out of the 10 clients I spoke to, for this webinar, I actually did, when I was working with client, I did do a short survey. Only one client raised current conditions as a positive. All the rest are concerned and negative about national economy, and due to tariff, inflation, and interest rate. Interest rates up and down, out of control, and lenders unwilling to lend, that is just a reality. These kind of reality make small business owners felt stuck, right? You cannot expand. There's no capital for you. The lenders are so anxious. They are so unsure. They maybe have a whole set of regulations that is trashed already. They don't know what to do and how to deal with it, which I didn't study that. But there are just changes all over the place. The lenders are also wanting to be careful. They maybe loan you money for 6%. Next thing they know, their source funds going to be 6%. Then what's the point to loan you 6%? They should be increasing that to maybe 12%. So with those kind of logic, if their source is not stable, they don't loan you. So that is the big picture of our small business owner is facing. On the business challenges and reaction side, so I have 3 areas I'm going to talk to. Tariff tax, that's the first area. The second area I want to talk to is workforce, then inflation. So let's talk about tariff tax. The tariff tax impacts are visible, can be felt directly by some of the most established clients that we have already. So, those are real examples. So delay in supply chain had already caused one of our clients who is manufacturer to close. So the conversation between me and the client is that, do we close or we sell? If we close, is it possible to reopen again if later economy is getting better? So those are questions. And, supply chain delay is serious. If their factory is running certain materials, suddenly that is not there anymore because of tariff tax. Then the factory stops. That is what happened among my clients. So delay in supply chain, and the delay in supply chain also causing builder to delay. And the builder had already had a project signed with the client. This is my clients too, builders, several of them. So they have the contract signed with customer, but they cannot fulfill because the price went up due to tariff tax. And also, not only price go up, also things doesn't arrive. So those are disconnect in the business, causing builders to go out of business. So we already have builder abandon their contract, which triggers multiple bankruptcies. It's not just the builder himself, the downstream, the contractors, even the customer, if the customer is the one having liabilities to pay for things. So with that said, and those are real these are real things happening right now in the month of August, before month of August, but it's reality, Farmers end up with excess product nobody buy because the contract normally comes in every year about the same. Then with tariff tax is cut off, so there's no exporting, there is no selling. So what facing the farmer is that they would not have that income. So farmers are willing to sell their farmland because they don't know how to run their farm profitably if the government cannot help. There are government help to the farmers, but not as much as the losses they are sustaining. So with that said, this is the reality. And we do have a lot of issue among our client. So let's combat the tariff tax. So 2025, have seen this imposition of sweeping new tariff, right? Including this 10% blanket, then add on to different layers of different rate, and with China is 145%. In the past, if you don't know or when you buy small things overseas, there's never really a tariff tax issue because there is such a thing we call that de minimis exemption. So this de minimis exemption allow consumer to buy small item under $800 and not to be affected. But now it's ending on August 29th as we speak this month. That means if you buy if you buy something from Tmall, and right now before August 29th, I'm talking about when it's crossed the border. So if cross the border on August 29th, before, you don't get taxes. But if it is after, it will be all taxed regardless of the value. So this is the change, huge change. This literally cut the throat of small businesses. A lot of small business, and especially immigrant-owned small businesses, they all have the connections back home to purchase something nice but cheap, so can come to U.S., can be made into other product, or can be sold just as a product, or it can even be a nice, generous gift to the customer that they're serving. That is gone. So this is what the impact is. Many countries face new raised tariff, as August 1. So the future trade agreement is all null and void. They have to upgrade that, right? U.S. Chamber of Commerce estimates small businesses will pay $202 billion more annually, yearly on tariff tax, averaging $850,000 per business. That is how much of tariff tax is impacting the bottom line of the business. So for you as a business owner, and we of course want you to understand that you need to start tightening up your cost, right? If anything can be replaced, you want to replace that, and knowing your bottom line and raise your price, and that is the minimum you can do. So there's majority of our small business owner, like on my account, are raising the price. In fact, we have talked about raise price since last year. They should know it's coming. So now if you are still a small business owner and you're still saying that, oh, I'm not going to raise my price because, if I am more expensive, I will lose all my business. You're going to lose all your business anyway because you don't raise your price and you're going to work for nothing. You're going to be losing money in business. How can you last? So the condition of lasting a business is you be able to sustain your business and make some money so you can fill up your stomach and continue next day. But if that is not the case, how are you going to continue the business? Just with a good heart? Just with a heart saying that I love you, I love everybody around me, I love my customer, so you can take my stuff away free. How you are going to survive? If you resolve that answer, yes, show your love any way you want it. And don't charge your customer at all. And celebrate when they come to eat your noodles in your store and pay for them. But that's not a business logic, right? We're talking about doing business. So that is tariff tax. It is only required business owner to be alert to how much extra you pay and to be vigilant about getting your price up so you can survive. It is so important. And I know, you may say that, Ying, you talk like somebody is resident of the White House. Don't care, just do it. No, I do care. But remember, my job today is to see how to survive, how to have our small business owners still have the business through this meltdown time. So to do that, there really isn't any other way. If tariff tax is raising your cost, the only way to survive is to raise your cost as well. But of course, you can raise your cost a little less to have your profit go down, right? Give yourself a little less profit margin, but you still have to cover your cost. All right, the second challenge, workforce challenge. This is related to people. As a small business, in the month of August, I have heard so many input about people, so many issues about people. We have the businesses that closed down and let go of 70 employees. And we also have the businesses and let go of 15 employees, hired 5. Make sense? So that workforce issue is real, is live, and is challenging. So the job market is turning the tide on some industry. For example, the AI technology has the biggest impact on professional service companies. Service company like insurance company, financial planner company, lawyer company, accounting firm like our firm. And the technology is taking away clerical job. And once, long before, you call the company, someone pick up the phone, get you check on the calendar and set up appointment. So now a lot of companies don't even have reception anymore. What they do is you go online and you set appointment yourself. You can see the person's calendar. So those jobs are going away. And because large companies are getting rid of their clerical job, so the market getting a little bit easy to hire for some industries. But of course, those law firms, CPA firms, they might be laying out people, right? Because they don't need that kind of clerical job support anymore, right? So with that said, the industry is shifting. But of course, doesn't apply to companies like retail company and restaurant. That's a different set of issue. So what kind of issue is there? Of course, there's a lot of issue because the ICE raid going on and you think is not anymore. Let me remind you, no, it is still there. And actually, today, if you go to 14th Street in Des Moines, you will see ICE agent trolling over there and arresting people. So it's there, okay? So ICE got so much budget, they don't even know how to spend it. So they will beef up their manpower and taking labor away. So these are the labor. I understand they are taking the undocumented people away. That impacted construction company, restaurant, retail, labor industry. So those companies are facing issues. They need to know what to do. So long ago, I told my client, you are in restaurant business, start hiring people with proper status, pay premium wages so you can survive. Because if you don't, these people will be rounded up and you don't even have a worker. You don't have anybody to work. Hopefully, you can hire some clerks that laid out by the big company. They got nothing to do and they don't have any skills to cook for you, but you can hire them to dishwash. So those are the switching in job positions will come in. And older employees, older staff, older people, like baby boomer kind of people, they're still healthy, they're so willing to work, but they are going to have issues to find a job. The physical job, like in the restaurant, that's not possible, it's too physical. Then the clerical job replaced by the machine. Then higher level than clerical job need you to know how to work the system, technology. They're not trained for that. They're not Gen Z. They don't really know how to quickly adapt technology. So they are going to have issue. So these are challenges in the workforce. The reason as a small business is we talk about that because I want to open up your eyes to see your opportunity. Maybe you needed someone with experience, but yeah, they never worked in your restaurant, but they worked at this big company as a reception for a long time. They can be your host in your restaurant, right? So thinking outside of the box, give a new meanings to a workforce and figuring out how to hire people. There are, generally speaking, more people lost their job than people getting their job. So you do have a better labor force to choose from. The large company are reducing workforce. I just know somebody worked in this large company locally for 27 years, let go. And you know what? This person, 27 years, has no knowledge how to even work Word and Excel because at the large company, they were doing one click all day long for 27 years. So there's no skill. Yes, maybe skill, knows how to sit in the office for 8 hours a day. But really, those kind of workforce coming out is a society challenge. And we need to embrace them. see who we can bring on board and making your business grow, right? Now you got more people to hire. The restaurant and the retailer, construction company, labor shortage, wage pressure remain the front and the center issue for our small business owners. So one of my comments to one of our construction company, they're specialized in stone working with large stones. So in the beginning of this year, I mentioned to them that as soon as the inauguration is done, after January the 20th, you will buy a big machine because it will reduce your labor because you got a better machine, and that machine also is probably going to be deducted. So the truth is, yes, the machine going to be deducted. They can write off the whole machine they're buying, but at the same time, they're going to lose half of their workforce. So the machine will become important. So nationally, on the workforce side, so the percentage of small business struggling to open positions has dropped to 4-year low, 78%. I think I accidentally deleted the percentage. So 78% of small business are struggling to fill their position because they don't have people. So that large percentage is actually coming from the industry related to construction, manufacturing, farming, that end. 57% of small business owners tried to hire in July, yet over 84% of those faced a shortage of qualified applicants for skilled trade, construction, transportation, drivers. Very real. So the country's outlook of workforce is not that rosy. In compensation increase, that also cooled the demand because it's too much pressure and there's a tariff tax making you make less. Then here compensation need to go up. Business owners are struggling. Small business are now prioritizing prioritizing to practical experience, leadership, and AI skill versus degree. So one of the talk I heard, they're saying there are 3 investments that people need to avoid right now. Number 1, it is to go back to school because degree, the curriculum development takes time. But the reality, the real work experience, the AI development is so fast. The school curriculum cannot catch up on what the real world is. So with that said, I want to say that's Warren Buffett's talk, and I watch so many. Don't quote me on that. Number 1, degree. You don't go to school to get degree, and you go if you want. You get a specific skills degree like learning AI or what, right? Number 2 is to invest in new vehicles, and they're saying that the vehicle sector has been so disrupted because the electronic vehicles are so cheap coming in. There's $10,500 per vehicle, brand new, coming out of Tesla. So with that said, you don't want to invest in vehicle because it's a waste of your money. Your investment may not retain value. Then the third one is actually invest in stock market, trying to get a gamble going good. So those are the 3. I'm pretty sure at this point that was Warren Buffett's 3 advice. So it is really interesting, right? So the small business owners don't need degrees. They need a skilled worker. Only 17.6% of the job posting require a degree. If you look at community CPA's job posting, and did we say you must have a degree, or we said we prefer? Just go read it, and you'll know where we take on that. And I believe in real life learning. So this is very important for you to understand, as a small business owner, knowing what you desire is okay, and knowing that where you're going to find your people. And that as a country goes, small business, we are the one occupy most job posting. So if we say we want real work experience instead of a bachelor degree of some sort of social study, maybe that is not the trend. Maybe that is not something anyone would give too much value to. Okay, I know when I said that, some people will be mad. What do you mean the social study not no value? It's value. I am just talking about small business owners trying to survive, right? So now the workforce challenges going on, the Gen Zs they are outnumbered baby boomers. I put a year in there. If you were born 1997 to 2012, you're Gen Z. And if you were born 1946 to 1964, you're baby boomers. So what it says that here in our country right now, and there's more Gen Z working than baby boomer working. By the 2030, they will be majority. They will be like 70% Gen Z. Gen Z is a generation of technology adapters. What does that mean? If you are a baby boomer working with a Gen Z, you are going to be challenged by them every day because they come up with quicker ways to do what you were doing for 20 years. Small business face technology challenges. You, me, and others, everyone, we are facing technology challenges. AI is taking small business out of business. Yes, with what we see, the small business that fold under the technology challenges are everywhere, everywhere. And I'll give you an example. Do you remember how taxi goes in the past? So now look around, how many yellow taxi cab you see? Very few. Uber, Lyft literally took taxi business out of business and redefined that business. Okay? Small business don't have money. We can't invest. We can't invest in technology because we don't have funds. If we turn to the bank and they don't lend you easy these days. So with the capital being limited, small business can fail easily. And no transition plans in small business, in that small business structure, that's also a huge issue. So for example, our client who could not get material shipped on time, the factory has to close. And in this particular case, the factory just closed also because there is no transition plans. Just imagine that if there's another person and believed in the mission, wanting to continue to do it, then maybe through trial and error, they would still going. But they are not going because small business owners are very good at having no plan going forward. So we fold and we close. In this case, what I want to say this thing to you is because you must have. Maybe your plan is to sell. Then do everything you can. Get yourself looking good so you can sell, right? Maybe you have a child that is going to take over your business. Then making sure you develop that child. These are challenges in life. On top of that is AI technology that is changing our way of living. I'm in accounting business, right? And you think I have no reason to lose sleep over AI capability. I should be all happy, right? So it's so good. It can add up numbers for me together. Actually, this AI invention will take number of business away. And accounting business is one of them. If you stay on debit and credit, plus and minus, yeah, you'll be gone. Because machine does it. In fact, there is an invention coming through, and people, small business owners like you no longer need to do accounting. Accounting is done automatically for you at the bank. All you need to do is to give your bank statement to your accountant who does your tax planning, who does your tax filing. That is all. So that is coming in December. You follow me, and I will disclose the secret to you so you know what's going on in the small business world. So we plan to give all of our small business to that no fee, no cost AI that going with the bank. So you will see that is coming to you, right? Business is being taken away by technology invention. Now, our last one is inflation. It ranked as the top concern for all walks of life among our clients. All of our business owners are uneasy about raising costs. To combat that, we have developed a customized approach for our clients in this area. I want to show you so you can work with your CPA, work with your accountant, and focus on this area. Number one, cost control. Number two, price adjustment. Number three, cash management. Number four, increase adoption of technology such as AI and automation. The last but not the least, you need to lean the workforce. Get your workforce laid out, get your people laid out, figure out everyone what they are doing, and really assign meaningful tasks to each one of them, and to figure out the survival future of your business, who to have to grow, who to not have, and release them so they can find other opportunities, right? So I really want to make sure that you look at your workforce like never before, because this is the time to combat inflation. Nationally, 70% of small business know that raising price is there, and it impacted a lot of their doing operation. 60% have raised the price. 60%. The not 100% people raise the price depends on their profit margin, right? If they have 40% on the profit margin, they can raise the price a little bit and raise the price less than what the cost, so they can shrink their profit margin. So margins are tight in general, with many owners employing cost-cutting operation efficiency that measures the response to sustain the flow of the work and inflation pressure. So all of these are something our business owners are actually doing. You may not give the big words to your action. I don't know how to give big words because my English is literally Chinglish. So, but I speak in plain language to you, tell you that your action, although it's plain, but it's profound because you are doing it already. Okay? Margin is tight. That's everybody's game. So I don't want you to feel bad about margin is tight. You make less money. It's okay to make less money, in for a period of time. But the most important things is to keep your business running. In Chinese, there is a slang in Chinese. I'll say that in Chinese. So if you understand Chinese, you know what I'm talking about. I'll translate that. It's called 留得青山在，不怕没柴烧, which means that if you keep the mountains there, you always would have wood stick to burn. So in business, if you keep your business existed running, even though you make less money right now, but you will always make money. You will always come out okay. So making sure that you keep that sentiment in you and making sure you overcome the inflation. Yes, your lender is coming up with more cost to you. Yes, you borrow money, the cost is very high, but all of these obstacles are temporary, all of them. And you want to make sure that as long as your cash flow works, if you have an opportunity to expand and your lender willing to lend you, but the rate is higher than what you used to, as long as your cash flow works, go for it. That is how the business owners separating themselves from those who failed to those who are successful. Literally, literally. Call to actions, small business owners. My audience, I'm calling these things into action for you. Stay in business for as long as you can, right? And look ways to reduce your cost in operation. Then you may say, well, I don't know how to reduce cost anymore. I felt like I did everything. That is where you want to engage community CPA, engage your CPA, engage someone you trust to come take a fresh look of your operation. Tell you can save cost. You know what? We have these trips to clients' site. Literally do just that, cost reduction. So we go in and we take a fresh look and we will tell client that we think that this can be reduced. It makes big difference. Okay? You will know if you fail. You can file bankruptcy. Okay? At the right time. You have an option to file bankruptcy and have a fresh start. The reason I say that, because our president filed 6 bankruptcies, had 6 times fresh start. So you deserve to have the same. And I bet you, I dare you to have 6. You can't match to our president. Are you kidding? He is elite. Only he can have 6. You can have anything under 6. That gives you a lot of relief, right? It's like, oh yeah, I can do it. Yes, you can do it. 82% of small business perceive that the tax system tax cut is for the rich, is for the big. Even though your perception is right, I still say that those rules and regulations will benefit you the same way, just in the smaller scale. Then come to community CPA, do your tax planning. Plan everything. And plan the food on the table if you can. Because by purposefully planning, you will be okay. You can save. Okay? Save for upcoming compliance cost. That's another one. Call to action. I want you to put money aside for audit. Audit will be rampant from state to federal into small businesses' place. It will be. We already see it. It is already coming. And state need more money. And the state doing compliance audit, nothing wrong with that. They're supposed to do it. But if you get compliance audit, you may be owing more money. And you have to spend money to defend yourself. So all of that need your budget. So I want you to save for upcoming compliance audit. And engage in specific consultation to learn more deeply of your industry. That is a call to action for our small business owners. And you think you are just good. And I'll open up a business, no big deal, I make money and I'm good. There's so much, the water is so deep. You can learn so much from someone who come through these kind of things for 30 years. There's a lot of retired CEO, a lot of retired baby boomers. They're willing to help you. You find them, okay? And you find them to help you get your business to the next level. For every downturn, there are business going up. Back in the Great Recession, 1932, Hy-Vee started the first small store. Only 1,500 square footage. That is coming from Depression, Great Recession time. So we are in the meltdown time. Was no big deal. Life is like that. But it is you will make it work for you. I do have, my word for you in terms of, to summarize what the spirit of this conversation with you. August 2025 is a tough month for many small businesses across the entire spectrum of industries. Okay? Know that, say that to you, so you are not alone. You are just like everybody else. You're not special. Okay? No, you also special in one way. You have that determination DNA every small business owner has. These are not people. These people are determined to go forward. They never quit. And that DNA is in you. And you will know to your bones, when is the time for you to exit. So don't exit until you felt that in your bones. President Trump filed 6 bankruptcies to get himself fresh start. 6 wonderful times. There is no limit in terms of how many bankruptcy you would file in your life. So why are you worried about that? Drive yourself to the limit. Okay? You can do it. You can do it. And focus on your business. Reduce cost. Okay? Reduce cost. Increase compliance. Don't wait to be audited. Start from now. Are you in compliance with payroll? With payroll? Are you paying people overtime? Are you fulfilling the state minimum requirement for sick and leave? Are you? Make sure you are in compliance. Expand technology. Subscribe to Community CPA YouTube channel to be equipped with business knowledge. I know you will come through this meltdown time in history without losing an arm and leg. You will be just fine, knowing everybody is in the same boat, and your tenacity and your DNA will serve you right now. Keep on going, and I will see you be successful. I want you to tell me that, Ying, today's talk you have kept me going. Just give me that sentence on the webinar. I'll see you soon, right? This is how I can see you. Book my appointment, and we have 6 partners here based on what they know, and you can book their time to get a specialized help from us. And this is our website. Email address for Catherine at communitycpa.com. She's our marketing manager, so she actually would take care of you when you put in comments, and she let me know. Then here is the number you can call. We open 6 days a week, not just during the tax time. The whole year, our office is open Monday to Saturday. So if you pick up the call to call us, you'll get a real person. Okay? I'll talk to you again. I really hope this talk helps you. Settle your mind. Know that you're not so special, okay, folks? You're just one of the business, in under this big environment. But we all have our ways to come through. I'll find way, you find way, we find ways together. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.